The dates for the Lok Sabha elections as well as 4 assembly elections were announced just a while ago. The Lok Sabha elections will be held in 7 phases. Several from the opposition have started raising objections about this, about why the elections can't be held in lesser or single phases. Now, the 7 phases will begin from April 19th and will be ending on June 1st. The results will be declared on June 4th. The assembly polls for Andhra Pradesh will be on May 13th, Sikkim on April 19th, Arunachal Pradesh on April 19th, and Odisha will be held on May 13th. Assembly elections will be held in 4 states simultaneously with the 7th phase Lok Sabha elections. Now, there are 543 seats in the Lok Sabha that will be contested for. 84 have been reserved for the scheduled castes, 47 for the scheduled tribes. Some interesting facts: 96.8 crore voters have registered, of which around 49.8 crore are men and around 47% are women. 1.82 crore are first-time voters. This was around 1.5 crores in 2019. So if we do a comparison, 1.82 crores being the first-time voters this year, quite a jump from the 1.5 crore voters in 2019. But between the age group of 20 to 29, there are around 21 crore voters. States with the highest seats in Lok Sabha. Let's just try and look and understand how many phases, where all it's happening. Uttar Pradesh has 80 seats. And if you look at how many phases the elections are going to be held in Uttar Pradesh, it's going to be in 4 seats. The maximum in 4 phases. In fact, Uttar Pradesh, if we can get those details, that's right. Maximum number of seats, 80 seats. Maharashtra has 48. West Bengal has 42. Tamil Nadu has 39 seats. Madhya Pradesh 29. Karnataka 28. Gujarat 26. Andhra 25. And Rajasthan 25 seats. These are the maximum number of seats, the states with the highest number of seats for the Lok Sabha. Now, if we look at where are the different phases that are being held, Madhya Pradesh will be seeing, there are at least 7 that are emerging. Let me try and give you the overall breakup. There are going to be Karnataka, Rajasthan and Tripura as well as Manipur will be seeing 2 phases. Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal, I stand corrected, will be having 7 phases in their polls. Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal, which also constitute the highest number of states, the top 3. Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal. Maharashtra, which has the 2nd highest seats in Lok Sabha, will also be going for several rounds of polls. It will be around 5 phases of polls that will be held in Maharashtra as well. So 7 phases of elections. India is in pole vault mode. Let's just listen in to some of the reactions, top takeaways from the Election Commissioner, the Chief Election Commissioner.
We have also worked on the women voters. Women voters का जो gender ratio है, वो बढ़ के अब 948 हो गया, which is again a very healthy sign of women participation increasing in our electoral cycle. राज्य, देश के 12 राज्य ऐसे हैं जहां आज 1000 से ऊपर जेंडर रेशियो है, यानी महिला वोटर्स की संख्या मेल से ज़्यादा है. और जैसे मैंने अभी आपको बताया था कि 1.89 नए वोटर्स हमने जोड़े हैं, उनमें से 18 से 19 में 85 लाख हमारी लड़कियां हैं, फीमेल वोटर्स हैं. So they are going side by side, and this is again a very healthy sign that women are also equally participating in our election. पहला जो इनपुट है, ये एक मोज़ेक है जो देश की वोटर्स की, इलेक्टर्स की पिक्चर है. क्या दिखाती है ये? It's a very diverse mosaic. 96.8 crores are the total electors in the country, of which 49.7 crore are male and 47.1 crore are female. और जो यंग वोटर्स हैं, बहुत मेहनत की हमने पिछले साल में, वो 1.82 करोड़ फर्स्ट टाइम वोटर्स इस बार इन चुनावों में वोट देने के लिए हमारे इलेक्टोरल रोल्स में हैं। केस ऑफ आंध्र प्रदेश, द डेट ऑफ इश्यू ऑफ गजट नोटिफिकेशन would be 18th of April 2024 और डेट ऑफ पोल would be 13th May 2024। तो आंध्रा के केस में नोटिफिकेशन 18 अप्रैल 24 को होगा और डेट ऑफ पोल 13th May 24 को होगी। इसके बाद अरुणाचल प्रदेश में डेट ऑफ गजट नोटिफिकेशन 20 मार्च को होगा और डेट ऑफ पोल 29 अप्रैल को होगी। 20 मार्च को गजट नोटिफिकेशन, 29 अप्रैल को डेट ऑफ पोल, सॉरी 19 अप्रैल को, 20 मार्च 19 अप्रैल। इस प्रकार सिक्किम में भी 20 मार्च और 19 अप्रैल, 20 मार्च को नोटिफिकेशन, 19 अप्रैल को डेट ऑफ पोल। उड़ीसा में फर्स्ट नोटिफिकेशन, दिस विल बी कंडक्टेड in phases, and first phase would be on 18th April and date of poll would be 13th May. Fifth phase में होगा second phase of the Assembly of Odisha 26th April and 20th May. Then sixth phase and seventh phase also Odisha would have the Assembly elections. Sixth phase being on 29th April and 25th May elections. आप पिछले 8, 10, 11 इलेक्शंस की सारे आरोप जितने हमारे पास आए हैं वो सबको एक बार पढ़िए। सबको पढ़ने के बाद सबके नोटिसेस देखिए जो हमने दिए हैं। उसमें जहां जहां कोई भी वायलेशन एस्टेब्लिश होता हो उस नोटिस के बाद, जवाब आने के बाद भी हमने, ऐसा नहीं है सब में कार्रवाई की है। वी आर वेरी, एज आई सेड, दे आर काइंड ऑफ ए मोरल सेंसर विच वी हैव इन द बिगिनिंग इशूड। और जिस किसी के भी खिलाफ में अगर कहीं भी कोई केस बनेगा, हाउसएवर हाई स्टार कैंपेनर ही और शी में बी, वी विल नॉट सिट बैक, वी विल टेक एक्शन।
Right. At this point, I'm being joined by Madhavan Narayanan as well as Vivek Silas. Madhavan Narayanan is a senior journalist and Vivek Silas is the national spokesperson for Samajwadi Party. Thank you very much, both of you, for joining us. Vivek Silas, how do you look at the dates? Uttar Pradesh going into 7 phases, not a surprise. It was almost the same like last time. But how are you looking at this? Opposition, several from the opposition already claiming India should have been ready for a single phase.
No, first of all, very good evening to you. In a single phase, the election. Hello. Yes, there was a disturbance. In a single phase, the elections are not possible, ma'am. Can you hear me? Hello.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
We'll allow Mr. Vivek Silas to just rectify his audio. If my team can just talk to Vivek Silas. Meanwhile, Madhavan Narayanan, your key takeaways at this point, it's again a 7-phase election. It was expected on this lines itself. But now that the model code of conduct has come in, the inaugural sprees are done with, what would be the immediate challenge for the political parties? The youth numbers are huge. It's a huge uptick from 1.5 to 1.8 first-time voters. Women have also increased in the voting percentage, at least those who are eligible. How do you look at this?
Let me make a few points. I mean, before I come to your question, one funny thing which I noticed, which didn't occur to me until a while ago, which is that this whole question of the code of conduct as well as some of the campaign rules are rooted in the 1950s when India had only radio and meetings and rallies, and there was no television even. So now we have, 98 crore voters, and more than the number of voters, we have the number of mobile connections. We have TV, which is pervasive everywhere. So in terms of campaigning, this whole business of campaigning stopping is a bit absurd, because you'll have, if say the Prime Minister is speaking in one phase of UP elections, it will rub off on another phase, and so it appeals to other leaders also. So these are things we have to take with a pinch of salt, because many of the rules and regulations cited by the Election Commissioner or the Chief Election Commissioner are either outdated or very difficult to police. Now we are entering the age of artificial intelligence and memes, and how can you police? How will you separate fake news from a meme in some cases without sounding biased? All that apart, the immediate things I want to say are, one is that the weather is going to be very hot, and therefore, especially in the Hindi heartland. And initially, the opinion polls seem to suggest that the BJP led by Mr. Modi is ahead, and therefore, typically, two things happen. One is that when there's a pro-incumbency mood and the weather is difficult, then the turnout can be lower than usual, which can cause its own electoral outcomes, because people tend to be more active when they want to vote out a government than stay with them. The other thing, interestingly enough, is young voters that you mentioned. Young voters, I believe there are, 2 crores? I've lost track of the number. There are quite a few. And typically what happens is youngsters tend to, or the first-time voters tend to be more quote-unquote
if you look at the young voters between the age group of 20 to 30, it's almost 20 crores.
The 20 crores, sorry. I always get confused between the millions and the vote. Yeah. So the 20 crore voters is a huge number.
If you look at just the first-time voters, again, it's quite a big jump. 1.8 would be the first-time voters this time. And it was around 1.5 in 2019. So that's also quite an uptick.
Yeah, no. I think I was right in my own way. The 2 crore number is what I had in my mind for first-time voters. The young voters are 20 crores. There is a nuanced difference, because sometimes the first-time voters, it is believed broadly in what I call the folk tales of psephology, that first-time voters tend to vote against the government because they want to show themselves, look, I have the power, because they want to show, look, I did this and this is what. This is one
that's interesting.
Urban legend, if I may say so. The other thing is young voters tend to be a bit more committed in terms of wanting this kind of government or that kind of government. And therefore, the turnout may be in general more high, where there is a share of voters are high. Let me point out that India's median age is 28. Therefore, half of Indian population was, born after 1991, which is considered a landmark year, because that was, the year of the economic reform and the beginning of the Mandal Mandir politics in a big way. And that has changed the politics for a while. So we have to see what this means for the Modi government, because the campaigning noise has been very loud. And you know that there are 6,060 crores of election funds that have been brought through the electoral bonds into the BJP kitty. It is much more. If you look at it in terms of Election Commission's prescribed expenses per candidate, the BJP has plenty for its candidates and then some more. And therefore, there are questions of how resources can, should, and will be used. And that is going to be a major policy. Rahul Gandhi has already said that, electoral funds were used to topple opposition government. So this kind of thing, Mr. Rajiv Kumar's very moving appeal to have positive politics is turns out to be just, a token statement in the kind of that we're having it. So, and last but not the least, the opposition parties haven't got their act together.
Madhavan Narayan,
Yeah. Sorry.
True. Madhavan Narayan, there seems to be some audio issue. My team will try and rectify that. Let me just go over to Vivek Silas. Meanwhile, Vivek Silas, how do you look at the 3 states, including Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Bihar, all 3 of them going for all the 7 phases? What are your initial reactions? How are you going to be looking at this? Is opposition in a position to really take on these 7 phases, particularly in Uttar Pradesh?
What is the problem in it, ma'am? I don't think there is any problem. We are going to take on the Bharatiya Janata Party head on. There's no doubt about it. There is no problem at all. And as my fellow panelist Madhavan Narayanan ji said, there are a lot of youths between the age of 20 and 30. I was listening to him very, very carefully. And this is the age group that is going to, see that and make sure that this government is out of power, because the youth between 20 and 30 are either jobless or they are looking for jobs. And there are some youths as well who were in jobs, but due to certain reasons, they are out of the job. So the resentment is against the policies of the Bharatiya Janata Party and Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. That is the problem. So, as far as the Samajwadi Party is concerned, Uttar Pradesh is concerned, we are having polls in 7 phases, no problem. The Samajwadi Party is absolutely prepared. All our workers who are working on the ground, and the kind of response that we are getting from the people of Uttar Pradesh, the entire India alliance is going to give a very, very tough time to Bharatiya Janata Party. Not only that, I think we'll be easily able to stop the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Vivek Silas ji?
Because today the common man is struggling with households.
Vivek Silas,
it's a very common thing. He struggles to provide health and education facilities to his family. If you don't have a medical insurance, you cannot afford a bill of the private hospitals. People see toll of false promises since 2014. It has been 10
Vivek
years.
Silas ji, before I allow Madhavan Narayan to respond to the perspective that you're putting on, allow me to ask you one more question before I go to him. You are saying all is well with SP. What is wrong with SP? Can I humbly ask you one question, which is perhaps many who are supporters of the India Alliance, who possibly would be looking at voting for the India Alliance, have been asking on the streets. And in 2019, this was the biggest challenge for the UPA, for the Congress to come together to be able to win any seats. Wasn't it this very attitude? All is well with us. Everything is fine with our seats. The fact that the UPA, now the India, seems to be losing its stronghold from Hindi heartland because of the fragmentation, because all is well with us aspect of each ally, isn't that going to cost the India Alliance a lot, sir?
Yeah, I would just like to say every election is different, ma'am. Every election is different. And this time the story is absolutely the other way around. Because even today, if we see a sitting member of parliament of the Bharatiya Janata Party from Madhya Pradesh, he was from the Rajya Sabha, has left the party. 2 sitting MPs have already left the Bharatiya Janata Party very recently. I'm not talking about the former MPs or the former ministers or former members. The sitting members have left because there is something that they must have guessed. And who wants to, give a resignation from the ruling party? No, because they sense that in the coming elections, the story is going to be different and very different. And ma'am, as far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned, if you see the 2014 and 2019 elections, the Samajwadi Party with its allies was able to, dent the Bharatiya Janata Party with 10 seats. Why do you forget that? Because in coalition, when Mayawati ji was with us, the BSP had 0 seats. And in 2019, it went up to 10 seats. So why do you forget that? Every election is different. Last time it was the Pulwama,
No, I haven't forgotten that for sure. But let me just get in Madhavan Narayan. And Madhavan Narayan, I guess yours would be the last answer. But to put in perspective of Vivek Silas is talking, he spoke about Madhya Pradesh. That again is where the irony lies about how that defeat happened, along with what happened in Rajasthan. The only face saver perhaps of the assembly elections was Telangana. If you look at a larger state and a larger stakeholder, are they even reading the cues wrong?
Yeah, Sneha, first of all, let me try some wicked humor with my friend Vivek Silas and say, congratulations, Vivek, that your party's name has not figured in the electoral bonds list at all. Which is very interesting, because it is very clear that the Rashtriya Janata Dal and the Samajwadi Party are not figuring in the electoral bonds contribution list because they have not been in power. It goes to show that electoral bond funds only tend to go to parties that are in power, whether it's at the center or the state. So this is for viewers of Mirror now to think about whether there is a correlation between contributions to political parties and their being in power and draw their own conclusion. Let me say something that much as I liked the way Vivek put the whole thing, he's, in the US, there was this statement, it's the economy, stupid. And now I'm going to ask whether the slogan here is going to be, it's not the economy stupid, because the way religious sentiments have been whipped up in UP with the Ram Mandir consecration and other issues, if the religious issues and some of the development programs as claimed by the BJP fall into place, then the Samajwadi Party cannot expect a simple anti-incumbency wave. Let me say, there are airports and railway lines and other things being promised by the Modi-Yogi double-engine Sarkar, as they call it, but UP also has a huge number of unemployed youth and as well as people who do not connect with some of the bigger picture muscular infrastructure. And that is something that might go in what Vivek said. And let me point out a statistic that Vivek forgot. During the last assembly elections, the Samajwadi Party polled a very impressive 37% of the votes. Am I right, Vivek? So
yes,
that
absolutely.
is something we need to keep in mind. And therefore, I agree that the elections are not as easy as the BJP claims it to be. But at the same time, given the aggressive party campaigning funds and Mr. Yogi Adityanath high-profile style of governance and some of the religion-related issues related to Ayodhya and all, are going to put Samajwadi Party on the defensive. And it is a pity in terms of opposition politics that even parties that were supposed to be aligned against the BJP are now part of the BJP because coalition, NDA, because it's going that extra mile to woo in the opposition parties.
I was going to keep the last answer at you, Madhavan Narayanan. But allow me, Vivek Silas, I'm totally out of time, but I'm going to give you a minute. Do you want to respond to this? Narendra Modi possibly is looking for a third term. BJP saying 400 par. The fact remains in India, it's no longer the Congress, it's the regional parties that are the bulwark possibly that can give any challenge. But is fragmentation, frankly, the big challenge?
The people of Uttar Pradesh and the people of entire country are going to vote you. And the wave, you never know where the wave goes. Because as it is said, there's many a slip between the cup and the lip. So let things work out. Let's see what happens.
Sure.
The electoral bonds are trending a lot. I think the Honorable Supreme Court has done a very right thing. It will be absolutely clear in front of the people when the Honorable Prime Minister says, na khaunga, na khane dunga. So it has just, it's upside down now. Sirf khaunga aur kisi ko khane nahi dunga. It can be proved, and once, if it is proved, which is very likely to be, the people and especially the youth are going to give a big spanking to the Bharatiya Janata Party and put them out of power very shortly.
Okay, Madhavan, I know you're raising your hand. I really am out of time. We have to take a break at this point. Madhavan Narayanan, I'm so sorry. We're totally out of time. Thank you very much, both of you, for joining us.